This video is not scripted. All information portrayed in this video is based on opinion.
Hey, welcome back to Baker Games. My name is Brett Madigan and this is Baker Rants. So, in this video I'll be talking about HD, remasters, remixes, reborns, reduxes, all that sort of stuff. I'm basically condensing it into what I believe an actual remaster should be, right? So, HD is essentially just upscaling a previous version of a game to an HD resolution, 720, 1080p. Nothing else is done, right? So, remaster, you would think they would actually change a few textures, they would change them to look better in some ways, they may fix a lot of broken things within the game itself. That's not actually the case for remaster. A lot of the times, it is basically just an upscaled version with a few minor details changed here and there, i.e., for Resident Evil HD Remaster, they basically changed a few of the audio tracks, they changed a few of the in-game assets, the model itself, and character skins. They didn't really change any of the actual background imagery at all. It still looks like garbage, and it just takes away from the experience. If you have good quality character skins, but yet you're going to have a terrible backdrop, it doesn't match the scene. And that, to me, it takes me out of the experience. It really does. I don't care about the camera angles or anything like that, but just the difference in quality there just takes me right out of the experience. Now, for remixes, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Because not only do they upscale the game, some of the time it is actually native 720p, and they change a lot of the actual assets. Which is cool, because I don't know if that's actually true, that I've just, this entire video is completely unscripted, and I haven't looked at any of this stuff to, back up my claims or anything like that, so what I'm going on is visual impressions. That's all I'm going on in this video. So if you have anything to back up anything else, by all means throw it at me. If I'm incorrect, throw it at me as well, because I want to be informed as much as you guys. Because I just feel that the idea of remaster has been lost in the idea of the developer. Because a remaster should be, an actual native HD resolution with a few, texture details changed here and there, and the actual gameplay mechanics altered if they were, considered broken before. Now, I recently played Killzone HD. After playing that game, I thought that a lot of the mechanics were quite broken, a lot of the AI were broken in several instances, and that is where this video basically spawned from, because I've played a few remasters, but none of them have fixed or changed things that were broken or a problem in the previous version. And by problems for Killzone HD, I mean the level, I think it's low distance, level detail, I don't know, low distance I'm going to call it, but where you look at the horizon and you can see where the level loads, that sort of thing. I wouldn't have guessed that would be a problem on the PS3. Now, that is where I think that remasters have been lost, because stuff like that should not be in a remastered version of a game. It just shouldn't. Stuff like horrible performing AI that just sort of turn around mid-battle, or just your allied AI not actually doing anything, just sitting about 20 meters behind you just to let you do your thing. It doesn't feel like I'm actually there with a group of people. Like, it may have felt in 2004, it may have felt like that, but today, that sort of standard is null and void. It's not a standard that we accept, or at least I don't, because I'd find that sort of stuff to be really irritating, especially when my allied AI, or just any sort of AI, just spins around or just turns it in a different direction just to do nothing. It basically makes me the only protagonist, the only force against the enemy or the evil that is presented on screen. And that just pisses me off. Now, that's not the only problem. Those aren't the only problems with Killzone HD. There's stuff like the weird, I don't know, bullet spread that occurs. Like if you aim down sight, the spread is ridiculous. If you're not aiming down sight, if you're firing from the hip, it feels like it's a lot straighter for some reason. Not 100% sure why. So we also have stuff like reduxes. Now, a redux, for example, like Metro 2033 Redux or Metro Last Light Redux, basically changes the visuals. That is what Redux does. And for me, I see Metro 2033 Redux as a perfect example of what a remaster should be. Now, granted, there are a few issues with Metro 2033 Redux, like physics being a bit weird and stuff like that, or not performing as well as it should. But if you go back and play Metro 2033, the original version, you would probably appreciate what they've done a lot more, considering the game runs a lot smoothly with better textures, better looking environments, better, lighting, shadows, all that sort of stuff in the Redux version than it did in the previous. So with that, I can accept, because not only does it perform better, it looks better in every possible way, and I can get into the game a lot better. Now, for stuff like Reborns, basically that is just a relabeled version of the game just because they want to sell the title at its proper, or what it was released as, that price that it was released as. So an example of that, or a recent example, is Legends of Dawn. That game was selling for about 30 USD originally. It started to, I think, go down a little bit, but then they were like, oh yeah, you know what, nobody likes our game, we're going to relabel it as a reborn version and state that we've fixed a lot of problems that people had. In that case, they never actually did anything. The game still runs like an absolute donkey, and they didn't fix anything. When developers state they've fixed stuff, but they haven't, that just irritates me beyond belief, because it's just, why would you say this sort of stuff to misdirect consumers? Now, there's several people on the Steam forums defending them. Now, when I went on the Steam forum and actually stated this sort of thing, just like, you basically just removed the previous page because it had, or was filled with negative reviews and stuff like that, just to revitalize the reviews. I'm banned from the forum. I'll show you guys what I said and why I'm banned from that forum in this video. But that sort of stuff is pretty pathetic. When you label it as a reborn version or a remaster, but you don't fix, you state you fix stuff, but you haven't, but yet you want to charge the original price for it? Why? Just that sort of thing, I can't wrap my brain around why people accept that. This has been a practice for a while. We have definitive editions, or definitive edition for Darksiders 2. That, keep in mind, the menu for Darksiders 2, the definitive edition, that word, man, is still a console version of the menu. It still feels weird. Half the options don't even work with a mouse. So it's like, why would people pay full retail for this game that you didn't even bother to fix the actual menu that was broken in the previous version? What did you fix? What did you change? You apparently state that it's, native 1080p. Yeah, okay, the textures aren't as blurred as they were before, but is that a reason to charge retail? No. I don't know, just basically what I want to state is my version of what a remaster should be. Now, I know that this video has gone on for quite a while, but I've been saving up this video. I don't even know if any of you will make any sense of it, but it's just, I've been wanting to talk about this for quite a long time, and my vision for a remaster is changing some of the textures. I'm not talking about, 2K, 4K, 8K textures. None of that. I don't give a shit if there's 2K textures in the game. I really don't. But what I do care about is making the textures not feel blurry. Now that can be done one of two ways: replacing the textures entirely, or upscaling those textures, which will still look like garbage. A good example is Resident Evil 4. remaster. So that is probably not a good idea, but I would still like that to, be a thing. I would still like developers to see if they can update the textures. If they can't, then that's fine. But if they can't do that, then we're still in this sort of idea that remasters are just upscaled versions. And that's where I don't want this to go. I don't want remasters to be that. It's just another upscaled version. I don't want it to be that. I want it to be an actual version that is just basically altered from the previous version and fixed from the previous version. That is how I envision remasters should be. And no remaster that I've experienced or played has been that. I haven't played a remaster that has, changed a lot of the textures so they look decent, changed some mechanics so they feel a little bit smoother, and changed some of the animations so they do feel a little bit smoother. That isn't a thing, and it should be for a remastered version. Now, just before I end this video, I do want to say that whoever designed the grenade throw in Killzone 1 HD or Killzone HD, can you please, just flick him in the ear or something? Because that was the worst animation I've ever seen. It is, dude. I'll show you a video of it, but it's ridiculous. It absolutely is ridiculous. After playing Killzone 2, I'm just like, yes, they fixed it. That was an animation that really desperately needed to be fixed. But again, it wasn't. But anyway, my name is Brett Madigan. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have anything to add or correct me on, please, by all means, leave it in the comments below. And hopefully we can have some sort of discussion about it. I just don't want it to get out of hand. But anyway, see you guys next time. Peace out.